So in the midst of me just picking it back up and trying to figure out who I was as an artist, I really just kind of put myself through like an artist development. Just like, okay, if I'm really gonna do this and be for real about it, I gotta figure out, who I am and just give these people myself. Stop trying to be this person. Because at first I wanted something that was like, oh, this will sound good in the club. This will have the club lit or whatever. Or this will be good for this situation or whatever. I wasn't doing me. I was trying to do somebody else, which that's always the biggest thing to any artist out there. Don't don't try to sound like nobody else. You know what I'm saying? Like, just be you. Give these people you, bro. They gonna like you off of you, or they ain't gonna like you at all. I'm just gonna tell you that straight up. So anyway, I was working, just really trying to get it or whatever, and I had linked up with my engineer slash producer slash right hand in his music now, VK or whatever. And I first met him just off buying some beats or whatever. He had gave me like a smooth ass deal on some beats. But then I started recording with him, and he told me, he was like, bro, I see something different in you that I ain't seen about nobody else. First of all, you consistent, you stay coming through here, and you really not whack, bro. Like me, I was like, man, this don't sound good, but he was like, bro, you really better than half the people that come through here and record or whatever. So with that, I started trying to develop projects, and Black Friday of 2015, I put out my first little project. It was called Fiction, Facts, and Fortune Cookies. I just put it out on that piff or whatever. It was probably like a 4 or 5 track little free mixtape EP, whatever, just to try to get my feet wet. And it wasn't so much about numbers or response, but it was just trying to get my name out there, trying to figure something out. So with that, I started linking up with people on social media, Facebook, Instagram, about like artist showcase or whatever in the area. And I started going out doing these showcases, which I'm gonna give you a tip for all artists. If you just starting off, don't get me wrong. If you have to do them showcases, then do them. Like if they free or if they cheap. I was paying. Don't get me wrong. I feel like 80% of the artists that first start paying just because you don't know no better. You just so amped to get on stage. Oh, I'm gonna open for this person. It's gonna in your mind it's gonna get you signed, or it's gonna get you looked at by whoever you opening up for, or in your mind you gonna set the crowd on fire. You know what I'm saying? Even though at the artist showcase it's just a bunch of people that came to see they artists, like, oh, that's my homeboy that rap. We going to see him. They don't give a fuck about nobody else there. So it give you good experience. Like you develop your stage awareness and develop learning what a set list is and your performance and everything. But it's not no permanent thing, bro. Like I was paying, I say probably $30 for a showcase, $50 for a showcase, and I get to do like 3 or 4 songs or whatever. Now, of course, me and my people would get in there for free or whatever. But at the end of the day, it wasn't like it was my show. I wasn't eating. I wasn't, you know what I'm saying? Really, the promoter, whoever was setting it up, was the one who was eating. So my girl had came to me, and this is probably like right around December of 2015, going to January 2016. I had been doing the showcases since like November, right after I dropped Fixing Fashion Fortune Cookies. And she came to me and she was like, you can do this on your own. Like, you don't have to keep paying these people. Like, I see what you doing and I believe in you. I feel like, you can do what you want to do. Because she saw that it wasn't really getting me nowhere. Like, yeah, I was learning how to perform, and each performance I was getting better, but I was just spinning. I wasn't making money off the music. And that's, that's what you are, that's what you in your career for. That's what you in your passion for. You want to be able to live off, what you love to do, whether it's music, whether it's art, whether it's hair, whether it's makeup, whatever. You feel me? Culinary arts. Ooh, excuse me. That's the good gas. But you want to be able to get paid off of your passion, your hobby or whatever. You would love to turn that into a career. So when she hit me and was like, you can do it on your own, I was like, just that support, she put the battery in my back, and I was like, let me see if I can do this thing like really independent. So I had a project drop February of 2016, which ironically is how February's Finest got started, just because off of my mixtape, Friends, Lovers, Exes, people just, I guess, became accustomed to me dropping some on Valentine's Day, and it's really ironic that it's even Valentine's Day today, and that's just how good God is, just to let you know how far you've come in 2 years or whatever. So I had a project dropping Valentine's Day of 2016 called Friends, Lovers, Exes. It was another mixtape I had put together on that piff. And this was right around the time she had, put the battery in my back and was like, hey, I trust you, I support you, do you. And I had linked up with just different artists and venues and promoters in the city. And I actually had put together my own show, like in Clarksville. At this time, I'm out of the military or whatever. I had just got out, so I was really trying to do music full time. And I had set up this artist showcase, and it was my first show ever. So I ain't gonna lie, I was nervous, I was stressed, it was hectic because you're not just an artist in that situation. That's what I learned about being an independent artist. You're gonna have to wear many different hats. It's not just, I can make the music and that's good enough, I'm gonna just share this link. It don't go that way. You gotta be your own, booking agent. You gotta be your own driver to the show. You gotta be your own security. You gotta be your own DJ sometimes. It's a lot that go into it, setting up your own show. But it was it was good and it was bad. It was a great show, but it was a learning experience. I ended up paying for an artist to come out that was originally from Clarksville or whatever, and he had, he was doing music, but he didn't stay in the city no more. So he came down or whatever, and in my head it was like, okay, I'm gonna do that to get that city love. It's really gonna be on my name, just because he from the city and they fuck with him so tough. And it did in a way, but it didn't, because the nigga showed up late. Like the sound wasn't up to par. Like a lot of stuff that it was out of our control, happened. But it was overall a great experience. It was a great turnout. I had about 3 or 4 artists come through and do their thing. I was able to do my thing and preview a couple songs off the mixtape. It was a great turnout, man. So the bad part about it is me and the promoter had set some up, but me being my first show, being young and dumb, with no paperwork behind it, I was just going off, verbal agreements, off the love or whatever. So the deal was, I fuck with what you're doing, I fuck with the music, because I had, had already sent them stuff and let them know what I was trying to do. And, we actually met face to face. He made the flyers. He actually helped me put them up in different spots in the city, pass them out or whatever. Like, I was promoting this show heavy. This was my first show, you know what I'm saying? And the deal was, it was a set price for the flyers or whatever, but the venue was yours, because he was like part owner of the venue. The venue was mine all night, and we would just split the door or whatever, 50-50. Now, I'm not saying that I brought the whole city out, because it wasn't that by any means. But it wasn't 2 or 3 people in there. It was a good, nice sized crowd. But end of the night, trying to talk business with them. Oh man, you really ain't, it really wasn't that much. That was kind of like my regulars for this Thursday night or whatever. You know what? Cool, I'll take that L. It taught me a lot in business. That's the thing too about business. Sometimes when you take an L, it's not a loss, it's a lesson. And that it taught me a lesson. First of all, it taught me make sure the paperwork is right before you do anything else. And it just taught me that everybody in this game ain't real, ain't legit. Like, you coming into it thinking stuff is gonna be given to you off the love, and which sometimes it is, but everybody ain't legit and 100. And that's just what it taught me, man.